Hi, Susie from Pink Diamond Guide. How is everybody? Doing a twin flame energy update today to see what's going on in the current energy. Now, I suppose where I want to focus, where I want to look in is we are in the heart of Mercury retrograde. I'll speak, Susie. Come on, Mercury retrograde. And doesn't that just say to you, it's all about communication, Mercury retrograde, and it can bring people back from the past. Can bring situations back from the past, memories, all sorts of scenarios can come back around for review. It can also challenge us. I've had my TV, it stopped working. So, back up your computer. Be aware of digital items under this energy. It can cause havoc under that front. But what we want to know specifically is how is this affecting twin flames, right? So we're in the heart of the Mercury retrograde energy now. We've got Venus in Aquarius, which is about clearing the air, which also supports energy coming back from the past for some degree of renewal. We've just been through our full moon in Cancer energy, where it's about forgive, move on, make peace, and say sorry. So if someone is coming back to the past under Mercury retrograde now, I would like to think it's because they want to make a fresh new start. And I know the energy around here is incredibly harmonious right now, and we're really enjoying having lots of laughs in our connection again and feeling positive in the way that we're dealing with each other. After, from about mid-October, that energy got really, really tricky. There was lots to learn and grow from, and there wasn't a lot of harmony moving back and forth, but things are much better around here, and I'm hoping to see that reflected across the collective. Righto, stop shuffling, get your words straight. First, we're going to look at the aspect of divine feminine, then we'll move to divine masculine. We'll build a bridge over the top, and we will look at some divine love oracle, making sure I've got all those cards ready to go. Yeah, I do. Let's get into it. Oh, I just feel like I want to shuffle. What are we holding back saying, Divine Feminine? Have you got something that you want to... Yeah, look, the Empress comes through as our first energy. Wow, okay. It's all about you. Are you holding back? What do you want to say that you're holding back, Divine Feminine? Straight out of the gate. Straight out of the gate. And in the soul space, we have got the Three of Swords. The challenge, we've got the Page of Pentacles. The advice from Spirit is the Five of Wands, and the likely outcome is the Star. Okay, so this is, I mean, there's nothing here that's really jumping out and surprising me, really. I mean, this first energy that comes out as the Empress. You know what? I've been doing all these readings for the Zodiac. I didn't look at the bottom of the deck for this reading. Let's do that. Let's get there first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Righto. Communication is indicated and offers from the Emperor. Oh, we've got the pair there, don't we? Is this the point where communication is? What have we got in this layer of energy? Oh, gosh, this is intense, isn't it? All right, so if we go our Mercury energy, Mercury retrograde energy that I'm looking at is seek the root cause of the problem and don't fall back into old patterns. So here we've got the Emperor or the divine masculine energy coming forward with some kind of an offer of love or some kind of willingness to communicate about what love looks like between you two. So this energy coming back around from the past is it our divine masculine ready to talk and ready to make an offer. Now again, I'm going to put the disclaimer out there. Twins come together in waves, so waves are task centric, not time centric, and everybody sits in different time frames within your own wave of connection. If you want to know more about that, I've got a key concepts playlist that describes what the waves are about for twin flames, and you'll find where you fit into the waves, but within that there are different timelines. But for whoever this part of the collective is for, this is your divine masculine coming forward with an offer and communication. And like I just said, that's playing out around here. We've been in much more communication, much healthier, much friendlier, much more harmonious energy has birthed on the back of what was last year a shaking down of any negative patterns that were still playing out in our connection. And we are in that space of going, what is the root cause of when we fall out of harmony with each other, and to not fall back into old practices. So here this feels like what's coming forward across the collective. It's an undertone of energy, so it's still not front and center quite yet, but it is moving forward. It is something that is niggling away. It'll be interesting to look into that masculine energy and just see how motivated they are to make this offer. But this is definitely communication indicated. I wish I was seeing this on this front level. I'd be saying, look out, divine feminine, here they come. This is it. This is this is the moment. But we're probably still a little bit off that energy. But it's definitely, maybe you can feel it. Maybe you're starting to feel more harmony when you lean into divine masculine energy. Perhaps your divine masculine has actually fronted, and this is why this is showing up right now. And we're questioning this offer, and we're questioning the patterning that comes with it. And have you really evolved into the Emperor for my Empress? Look at them. Look at them. That's the divine pair, right? And there they are in your reading under the energy of the Knight of Cups. I love the Knight of Cups. He's so romantic and he has his heart out on his sleeve, and anything that's been hidden in this connection is now on the way to being brought forward, being brought out into the light. It's conversations, clear communication. We still have Mercury in Capricorn, which will still bring forth this ideal of really clear, fast-paced communication that is heartfelt from an emperor that has evolved. We do have one page still out here, but gosh, I'm looking across the board and going, just to have the one page and everything else be, and to have the emperor there, I'm feeling really encouraged that this is for those twin flames who are at this point in your journey where you've done enough work and you've evolved your frequency to a point where you're ready to hold it. Here comes divine masculine. Righto, next level is going, this is why my disclaimer's there, is going, there's still some opposing points of view. So divine masculine might be coming forward with a really beautiful offer. That cup is a genuine offer from the Knight of Cups, and he's saying all the right things. But what is it that you don't quite believe, or what is sitting in contrast? What obstacle still remains to be overcome? Because we've got the Two of Swords, which is going, it's opposing perspectives, really, isn't it? And here you've got to lean back on your you've got to lean back on your intuition to figure out what is true. Now, that may cause you to want to take a bit of a pause. Like, you're not going to want to rush in and going, I've still got opposing ideals coming at me from this energy. And you might even be sitting there going, can I feel them or can I not? Is this truly an energy shift or is it not? It's just asking opposing questions and leaning back on the energy with the ideal to get to the truth. Now, that might mean that you take a break. And again, here we've got the Two of Pentacles. Now, interestingly, sometimes, it is a juggling energy. I've called it 5D and 3D at times. You can call it Path B, Path A, however you want to see this energy of juggling. But what I'm seeing you're doing here is juggling faith at this point in time, in going, do I believe I'm feeling this energy or do I not? Is it really coming towards me or is it not? It really does feel like you have to take some time being quiet to really hear that soul voice singing in your ear right now of going, oh my gosh, this is really coming towards me. I can actually really start to hear some fine tuning starting to take place. But don't rest on your laurels. This is still requiring some intense soul work. Now, we're in that 2023 year, embrace your soul. So it's going, you need to listen to your soul song. This could be one person going, do not let that person back into your life. You know what happened the last time that they were here. But here your voice is going, yeah, but I know how I feel about them. I know the truth. I know more than the surface energy. And I'm going to juggle what you say and what I feel and think in some time of quiet, of taking time, deliberate quiet, where I sit and work through these energies of my own accord. The push from the universe is that you step into your Empress energy. And it's funny because this Empress energy has been a little bit knocked about since about October, in going, there's been pushes to be more selfish. There's been pushes to be more driven. There's been pushes to get out of Empress energy. Well, have the Empress as the baseline, but then evolve into more masculine facets of that energy, in order to bring forth a change in the connection, or bring forth a change in your ascension status or the frequency that you're holding. So, it's like the push from the universe now is to go, I want you to sit fully in your Empress energy and care. Just care, and look at this here with the ideal of sinking back into your intuition. The Empress does that by default, right? And she is. I've talked about the Empress being pregnant a couple of times in the when I've leaned into Empress energy in the past little bit, going, she's pregnant with wanting to birth something new, right? And she's holding her ground. This is interesting to me because this Three of Swords energy really is a game changer. Like, it's going, if you can have been through this, and sometimes you see, I talk about memes way too much on this channel, but sometimes you see memes on Facebook and that go, someone who's had their heart so badly damaged but still manages to maintain softness and kindness is the kind of individual that you never want to let go of. They refuse to be broken by this energy. Now, Three of Swords energy is, look at the size of the person, look at the size of the heart, look at the size of the sword. Twin flame journey will do that to you. It will make you feel like your heart just can't take another beat, right? It's arresting the amount of pain that you go through. And anyone looking in on your journey will go, what the hell are you holding on to this for? But here you're going, in my Empress energy that is full of love and compassion and kindness, and I know I'm birthing something new, not just for me, but for all of humanity, holds the ground and says, I will not be swayed from knowing what I know. And yes, I've got all of this. See, I don't even think you've got all this. I think you're making peace with what you've been through. That full moon in Cancer energy of forgive, move on, make peace, say sorry, is like looking at versions of you that you've created in order to survive. And in your soul song, you're actually coming to terms with the fact that you've been that person. I had a really interesting conversation with my son, actually. He's 15, but he is, he's awake. He's in touch with his feminine side. Very masculine young man, but in touch with his feminine side just the same. And he said to me, Mum, I don't understand how you continue to have the ability to find forgiveness for people when they keep screwing you over. And this has been over the course of a lifetime. And we sat and we unpacked Mum's journey together in going, well, this is what I went through, but this is what I learned. This is what I went through, this is what I learned. And getting, talking to him about how, sometimes when people hurt you, more than not, it's got nothing to do with you. And it's like, it's about their coding, it's about where they've been in life. And most people are looking for the same thing that you are. They want to be loved, they want to be validated, and they want to feel safe where they are. And generally, when people are treating you badly, it's because they don't feel safe, they don't feel loved, they don't feel validated. So they'll do something to make themselves feel more powerful in their situation or feel more secure. And when you can get behind that story is where you manage to find forgiveness and empathy for people. And it was a big conversation that we had in going, I refuse to, like, this is where this defensiveness sits for me, is I refused to be knocked out of Empress energy on behalf of pain that's been inflicted on myself. So this pain that I'm looking at, I don't think this is a fresh round of pain, but I think it's a making peace with it in a way that you can, when I say to forgive somebody else, I don't say it flippantly, but and not that I'm excusing bad behavior. Do not pin me on that, because everyone's responsible for their own behavior. But what we're not responsible for is the coding that got us there. So it's like, it's not until you come into awareness and consciousness that you can actually morph, shift, change, adjust, create with the creator. Up until then, when you're on autopilot and you're at the mercy of the coding that's around you and you just continue to perpetuate it, then you will cause hurt to other people. But when you get woke to that, when you get conscious of that, you go, I refuse to be knocked out of my Empress energy on behalf of the hurt that's been inflicted upon me, because now I'm conscious of the process. Now, here's a challenge for you. Here's a challenge. It's a learning energy. And it's funny because we can put this as a new start energy. We can put it as a bunch of different things. But what I'm actually looking at this as is, in your Empress energy, have you got to a point where you're resting on your laurels a little bit? And this is interesting for me because, for the first time in a long time, I ordered a book, and you're going to love the title. It's called The Courage to Be Disliked. And I've been working with a client, and she told me of this book, and we've been working through her journey of coming into, a space of feeling comfortable in standing up for herself, because this energy has been knocking her over and knocking her over and knocking her over, and she wants to stand up and fight, but she's not found the courage. And she found this book and she's put it to me and she said, I'm going to read this and I'm going to let you know what it's all about. And I said to her, look, I'm going to read it with you. I want to understand what that energy looks like, the courage to be disliked, given that the energy that we're all pushing towards is a harmonious one. Is like the courage to be disliked when you're sticking to your grounds, when you're an Empress energy, because when you're an Empress energy, sometimes people will want you to dislike something because they dislike it, and then they dislike you because you won't get angry at what they're angry at. I know that sounds like a long-winded story, but look at this as the advice from Spirit. It's the courage to be disliked, the courage to stand in conflict on behalf of what you are hopeful about. And I think this is a really, really interesting energy that's going to unfold, whether you are in union, whether you are, you've just come into this journey new, and you're just starting to find your feet as a twin flame. However this energy is playing out for you, along the way, you're always, we're always on the journey of mastery. We're the perpetual student, and we're always learning and growing from each other. And in this energy of holding true to a twin flame journey, you do need the courage to be disliked, because people will tell you that you're doing the wrong thing. And you go, but my soul knows what it wants. My soul knows what it's going after. I'm prepared to be disliked by you in order to pursue this thing that I know to be true. And I talk often about the three graces that need to be mastered by twin flames of faith, hope, and love. And the star is the big energy of hope. And it's like you keep your eye on the prize, twin flames, because you're birthing something new. See how this energy is moving itself down to the earth plane, bit by bit by bit. And here you are, particularly you, divine feminine. You've climbed many stairs on this ascension staircase, and you get to sit there now and look up as the energy comes down. And that could, at times, put you in conflict with people. Right? Sometimes people just want to trauma bond with you, and they're going to come to you and go, such and such did such and such, and I want you to hate them with me. And you start to go, well, all right, you've got pain in your soul space. I understand that. I've been there too. But let's have a look at what might have motivated that person to be cruel to you, and see if we can't understand them a little bit better. That actually puts you in a position to be the courage to be disliked, to actually, get beyond the surface of what somebody wants to do to align with them. We want to stop trauma bonding with people. That's a loose example of trauma bonding for sure, but it's like when people have negative experiences that they want to feel like they're united in order to hate against something, or in order to have a power against something. And we can trauma bond and hate that thing together, or be in disharmony with that thing together, and feel like we're united, so you feel in peace. And yeah, that's a very real thing, but you don't want to be stuck in the trauma bond. It might bring you together initially, but the goal would be to evolve out of it. So the courage to be disliked is a powerful, powerful thought. I'm not sure what's in this book, but I liked the title. I liked the title because this world does exist in positives and negatives, right? We're meant to have the positive and negative experiences, and courage is seen as a powerful, positive trait. Being disliked would feel like a negative. So the title in itself gave me, like, it's curious to me. So I'm going to read this book alongside my client and see what we both can get out of it. Hopefully I've got some interesting insight for you. Let's have a look at divine masculine under this energy. Now, we're looking at under the Mercury retrograde. We're in the thick of it now, and we're going, seek the root cause, don't fall back into old patterns. This is an energy that sorts the boys from the men too, with the Venus in Aquarius energy. It's a clearing the air and going, let's get to some truth. Sometimes the truths are tough, but we're moving towards the end of January, where the energy, I'm looking at that Venus-Saturn interjection in the sky, where they line up in the sky, and love, longevity, and commitment to something you desire is what that end of January energy promises. And all this lead-up work is about sifting and sorting and soil, getting the soil prepped, planting the seeds in order for that energy to blossom. So I'm really curious about how that's playing out for divine masculine. Let's have a look. Queen of Wands, Six of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles. Oh, no way. Five of Wands over the Five of Wands. Look at that. And, look at this. Move away from your old patterns. Interesting. Let's look at the bottom six. Oh, no way. Look. You got it too. You have got it too. Are you two going to be juggling each other? Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And again, we've got some repeat energies. You've got the Hanged Man with these two. He's got the Hangman and the Hermit. Righto. Ships are coming in, divine masculine, aren't they? Remember I said to you, this feels like you can feel the energy. You can feel it shifting. You can feel them wanting to talk. You can feel them wanting to come forward. You can feel them wanting to approach, or you can feel them wanting to bring their ships coming towards them. But guess what? They're not doing anything about it just yet. Don't panic, because the High Priestess has it well in hand. Now, I talk about this energy being juggling between the 5D and the 3D, right? With this, with the Two of Pentacles energy. This is definitely I'm listening to what Spirit is telling me. I'm hearing it. I'm taking it on board, and I'm processing it. I'm taking the time to really. I'm not rushing in on anything. Yes, I want my ships to come in. Yes, I want to live in harmony and peace, and I want to be free of my troubles. But I need a minute to and I know I've said this a million times about divine masculine, is that this energy is slow and it's going to take time to come on board, and every wave and every connection is different. And you will feel this in different capacities. But what I'm suggesting across the board, let's discount free will, divine masculine is not in an excuse machine anymore. He's actually going, I want this to come in. I've seen what it is that needs to happen. Is like, I'm not immune to the fact that I'm getting messages and I'm getting insights and I'm getting processes put in front of me. I am just taking some time to bring it all together. It could be a question. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to fix this. So I'm just going to do nothing. I'm just going to do nothing. And the High Priestess goes, it's okay. It's okay. I'm going to keep, while divine masculine continues to do nothing, she will continue to bring the energy forward that makes them want their ships to want to come in. Now, over here, again, the Hermit is the energy of being on that soul journey. And we do have the ideal, look, we're in a 7-year, which is all about embracing your soul. So the Hermit gets into a space. Sorry, I should turn that off before. Why do we do this? Okay. Oops, there we go. The Hermit is in a space where, again, you put these two energies together, and that actually, translates to a very long silence of taking time to yourself to understand your journey, to know what you want. And here, the Hermit keeps the light on. So he's still looking out for, the signs and the symbols from the universe. He's still very aware of what's going on in this 3D world, but he's learning and growing. It's he's been on a mission, and sometimes he can see what's going on, sometimes he can't. And here, look at this. This is where I wanted to get to, because this is what I was feeling in going. There is a juggling energy for sure, but it's a juggling because I want to communicate. Are you feeling this? I don't know that you're actually receiving it. Some of you might be, depending on where you are in your journey. But here we've got the Two of Swords, right? And here we've got the Messenger of Swords. So here you've got these opposing messages, and it feels to me like you can feel instinctively that divine masculine wants to communicate. There is a very distinct message on the wind coming down from divine masculine, and here, this is where I asked the question earlier, can you feel it versus are you having it? And depending on where you are in your cycle, it's going to show up differently, because I get the feeling he's typing the messages or he's phrasing the messages, and then juggling whether he'll send them or not. Sometimes he'll send them, and then he might go, oh my God, what did I send that for? Oh my God, what did I send that for? I don't know. No, I don't want to do that. Sometimes he'll type the message and just delete it. Sometimes they'll type the message and send it very, very confidently, but this is not a consistent energy of communication. When I see that side by side, it's like, yes, I want to communicate. I'm going to juggle what that looks like. It's not consistent and it's not strong at this point in time, but the energy, you are probably feeling it like it's growing in order for this message to come down the wire to you. As yet, it's still an undercurrent. It's still an undercurrent of energy. Right. Queen of Wands, the push from the universe is them to go after what they want. Selfishly. Selfishly go after what you want. The Queen of Wands does not hesitate. She just goes, this is what I want, and I'm going to go and get it. I don't have too much more to say about this Queen of Wands. Here, the sunflower, it's a happy space. This little black cat guards against any negative evil spirits that might it keeps the Queen of Wands safe when she's going after her journey. This is what she wants, and she selfishly goes after it because all she cares about is making herself happy. And the universe is saying, Queen of Wands, go forth and be happy. Just be happy. Go after what you want passionately. Here, this is again, this is really interesting. You're in a defensive mode where you don't want to give, right? You don't want to give an inch on your stance. You don't want to give of your time, your energy, or not to say, look, this energy is very giving, so the push is on to do that. I should have said you don't want to be knocked out of your Empress energy, which is, putting nurturing energy over those things that you want to achieve. Now here, you don't necessarily want to be knocked out of that energy space, but Divine Masculine wants to give to it, right? Divine Masculine wants to give, and you want to stand and receive, right? This is not a giving it; it's a nurturing, but you're going, all right, yeah, I know I want to nurture, I know I want to nurture. I just don't want to be knocked out of this space because of this pain energy. I don't want to be forced into a space where I can't be who I truly want to be. And you hold ground, like I feel like I'm talking myself in a circle there, but you'll hold ground on anyone or anything that knocks you out of being as comfortable as you want to be as the Empress. You want to give where you want to give. You want to nurture where you want to birth something new. And anyone that comes at you that's asking you to give outside of that scenario, that's probably a better way to phrase it, that you don't want to give outside of the scenario where you feel like you get knocked out of your energy. But Divine Masculine says, I want to give. I want to bring it back into balance. I do. I want to go after what I want. I want to bring it back into balance. And this time, I'm going to go after the things that matter to me, right? This is an energy of going after what matters to me. And if we're in that embrace your soul energy, Divine Masculine is going, oh yeah, I'm going to go after what matters to me. I'm going to do the things that make me feel good. What is the challenge over here is the Queen of Pentacles. It's not knowing what to do. I've said this energy before. Like, to me, she comes through the Queen of Pentacles in the challenge position. I equate her to the epitome of a single mum, where she's looking after her kids, looking after her job, looking after her house, looking after her money. Everything's going her way. Now, Queen of Pentacles in the challenge position is going, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to bring my life into balance. I don't know how to bring it into control. I'm struggling to put all of the foundation in place in order to move myself forward. And here, again, where we've got this conflict energy, which we talked about with this Five of Wands. Now, you two do not want to be trauma bonding. I spoke about this earlier, and this is kind of where I'm trying to make this circle come forward. So if the challenge is the Queen of Pentacles and your challenge is the Page of Pentacles, your challenge is to learn something new. Their challenge is to get themselves organized. And you're going, well, I don't want to trauma bond with anyone, least of all you. I don't want to have to feel like I have to own any of your burden. I don't want to feel like I have to, not that you don't want to care, don't get me wrong, but I don't want to be trauma bonded by anybody. I just want to live in a high vibe and have, beautiful experiences come towards me. I'm tired of the lessons and the learnings. I'm tired of the pain and the heartache. I just want to feel like, energy doesn't have all of this friction when it comes at me. And Divine Masculine saying, I don't want friction. What makes you think I want friction? But because you two have been through so much, friction exists. And when you come back into union, when you come back into communicating, it's hard not to get into those stories that create friction. But divine masculine is going, essentially both these energies hold a similar truth, in as much as going, you want to focus on the divine, bringing the energy down to the planet, and you keeping your eye on the prize as far as hope is concerned. This is a journey of faith. It's like I'm setting off on a journey. I'm leaving the troubles behind. I'm leaving away behind the things that didn't serve me, and I'm following this divine river. I don't know where it's leading me, but I'm trusting. I have faith in that it's taking me somewhere good, and I'm hoping that you'll be sitting over here waiting for me. And I'm not asking you to lay out the red carpet. I'm not. I'm just, both of you are just going. Uh, you don't like, even though these are coming up as advice from spirit, so you're going to feel friction there. Both of you are saying to me, I don't want the friction. I don't want to deal with the friction. I just want to get on to the happy, nice stuff. Let's build a bridge over the top of it, because this one in particular, I want to look at this energy, because I'm getting a couple of schools of thought over it, in that, it would be easy to trauma bond. It would be easy to trauma bond, but spirit's going to me say that that's the last thing that you want to do, is get bogged down in, look, don't fall back into old patterns. Seek the root cause of the problem, but don't get bogged into the fight. All right, let's build a bridge over that. Seek the root cause of the problem, which will bring up friction, because we do need to talk about what went wrong and where we're going, but don't let it sink you back into old patterns where you get into fights and trauma bonds. I know. This is the message from divine masculine to divine feminine about overcoming this friction energy. We've got the Five of Swords, we've got the Page of Cups, we've got the Judgment card, we've got the Queen of Wands in reverse, we've got the Chariot in reverse, and we've got the High Priestess. Righto, so if this is a message about overcoming this, it's like going, yes, we have to communicate. Yes, it's probably going to be difficult at times, but essentially, I just want to have a victory with you. If this is all the pain, look at the 1, 2, 3 swords that are sitting there. Let's worry about this. Can be the community. This we've got an Ace of Swords, which is the energy of truth. 4 swords adds up to healing. 3 swords adds up to pain, right? So with this energy, I want to move our 3 swords into 4, which is healing, and into a victory of truth and clarity and communication. I don't want to get into a tit for tat with you over where we've been and what we've done. I just want to love you. I just want to love you. And I love this particular Page of Cups. Look at his chalice there. He's got this beautiful golden chalice, and it's full of light. There's no fish in that cup. It's a genuine, pure, softer. And I think one of the last readings that I did using this deck, this card came out again. So to me, divine masculine, even if at times it feels like it's it's still small or underdeveloped according to where you sit, divine feminine, it's still genuine. It's genuine. And they're calling out judgment on the connection. They go, I've heard the call. I've heard the call back to you. And I know in the past that there's been plenty of damage done. And I know I've been selfish. I know I've stopped our connection from progressing. But this High Priestess has come to me, and she's shown me who you are and who we are. And I want to start to make amends. And I know it's not going to happen overnight, that I fix all the pain that I've caused, or that you move into trust like that. I understand that this is a process. And I want to say this, divine feminine, by and large it's you listening, but divine masculine, if you're there too, that when these connections come back online, those first conversations can actually make you feel like you've made a really, really big mistake in coming back together. Oh, what did I come back to this for? What did I come back to this level of resistance for? Why are we constantly, fighting and scrambling? And I'm going to put me and Ricky right in the spotlight. We have been in and out of union a couple of times where we've gone, things have been really, really great. And then, we've come into these friction points with each other, and we've learned not to run away completely. We've learned to go, righto, you've got something that you need to work through, which means that I've got something I need to work through. And let's give each other the breathing room required to be able to heal and grow. And it's not that, this Hermit card and this Hangman card are so important for twin flames when the High Priestess is trying to teach and learn and grow. in going, you're never going to, if this is a true twin flame connection, this is a true twin flame connection. If you're watching the way I read cards, you pretty much have been run the gamut with the person that you're with, right? And you've come to the conclusion that this thing is embedded in my soul. There's more to it than meets the eye. And now I'm looking at the soul-based journey, the soul ascension journey attached to a twin flame connection. At times, that connection is going to knock you on your bum and out of alignment and into separation, where you're going to feel incredible friction with each other in order to learn and grow. Now, in a traditional relationship, you would try and force that square peg into a round hole and you would make it work, right? Twin flames don't work like that. Sometimes twin flames have to separate in order to learn and grow independently, so that when they come back together, there is union attached. There's the frequency raises each time that your soul evolves and evolves and evolves. And ascends is a powerful word. When we talk about a soul ascension, what we're talking about is the soul moving into a better version of itself. It acts within a better capacity in alignment with how the planet is trying to lift its own vibration. So we're trying to learn and grow and move and birth a new energy. And sometimes that takes work just on you. You've got to get into mastery. So now when we get into friction points, and I've been open and honest, and as has Ricky, that October came around and we found ourselves in some serious friction points that we had to work through. Big discussions, challenges with each other, asking questions of the traumas that we've been through and why it's making us behave the way that we are, and asking the question, are we going to run away from this connection, or are we going to find our way through the friction points to get to the ideal? Because once you've heard this sound, you know who you are. This is the judgment of the divine saying this is the journey that you're on, and trust the high priestess to bring you through it. So separation is an illusion. You are always, if you are a true twin flame connection, your soul is always connected to them, right? It's undeniable, it's unavoidable, it's a truth of acceptance. Again, if you want to know more about how I view that energetic connection, I've put other videos available so I don't fill all of these videos up constantly talking about what the twin flame connection looks like. I've done a key ideals playlist, key concepts playlist. If you're new to the channel and you haven't heard me talk about these concepts before, I've put them all over on another playlist so that you can check them out. The high priestess will lead you through all of that knowledge, all of that information, and that's why you can get into a point where even where you get into friction. And I mean, those who followed the journey here, you've heard me get upset about it, you've heard me cry, you've heard me struggle, you've heard me grow and ascend, and now I get to sit here and say to you, it looks like we're coming back into a place where we're joyful and connected again. We've come through the tough part and we're understanding each other, and the journey continues. Do I think we won't ever come into these kinds of frictions again? I don't know. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. But what I'm committed to is knowing that our connection is always safe, and that when the divine needs us to learn and grow, we're going to make that journey, and we're going to do it with respect and love and kindness, so that we have the best opportunity possible to bring it back into union as quickly as we can. So this is why the divine, the high priestess comes at you now, because it goes, you might have hit a point where we're challenging the selfishness and the stagnation of the connection. But know that the high priestess has had you exactly where she needs you both to be, to learn the lessons that you've needed to learn. And yes, it will involve some very complicated communication in order to have this victory, right? To have that victory, to have that love, to have that judgment that overrides the selfishness and the stagnation that you may have been through, and to overcome these very, very challenging friction point energies, we're going to rely on the high priestess to guide us through them. Righto, let's get some divine love oracle to finish out our reading today. Let's first have a look at divine feminine and see what we've got for you. Divine feminine with some divine love oracle. What do we have? That said, I do feel like these connections are making progress. I tell you, for those on the journey in this current cycle, it feels like you are getting really, really close to having resolutions take place. And look, this one wanted to come out with that one just as I was saying it. Righto, okay. That makes sense. Okay, I'm going to hold that one there because that does feel like it's an energy waiting to birth. It is our beautiful card of union. Right, let's read that one. It says, after each soul has done their work, the moment arrives when they return to the blessed state of union. Each plays their part, having managed the challenges of ego, life, loss, faith, hope, and love. The default frequency becomes aligned firstly with the divine and then as a consequence with each other. The connection they feel between each other becomes more understood and able to be held in a tangible way. The masculine and feminine are balanced in and with the partner. The partner's no longer in a state of pain or denial. They accept their place at each other's side in a union as divine as eternity itself. That's the energy that, feels like we're getting closer and closer to. Everybody's on their different version of the journey, because look, this is the twin flame guide map. If we could all just get on a straight path and go, well, this is me. I'm using these cards, and I've gone feminine, masculine. I've just put them all together, right? From waking up to realizing that this is the journey that you're on to get to there. Like, I'll see if I can. How do I get that as a sequence? You probably can't see it all, but from waking up, look what waking up looks like. Oh my gosh, it is like, oh, you can see what it looks like. I don't know if you can see the figure in there, but it feels ghoulish, doesn't it? It just feels like it's the most, you're just dripping with pain and frustration and what the heck have I found myself in? Then you come into the point of understanding, all right, I'm on a twin flame soul ascension journey. And even though I feel like this, I know what I'm heading to is something more like this, right? That's the journey from this to this, from finding yourself in separation and waking up to the journey that you're in, to bringing it back to that harmonious state of union. How do you get there? Here's the twin flame guide map. Sometimes you go forward, sometimes you do a loop-de-loop, sometimes you go back to where you came from and try a different path. There's no one fixed state of journey, and each wave, like I said, is task-centric, not time. So somebody might get on this journey and they go, oh, I've completed my task. I can get straight to my destination point, straight, like it's almost like walking a straight line. Look, I can get straight there because the task and the journey and the patterns, everything aligns really quickly for the way that their soul operates. Free will doesn't get in the way, and they just get very, very busy with the task of being twin flames on a soul ascension journey. And they know that if they get through this waking up process, and instead of getting in the struggle to bring their lover back to them just because they missed them, and they start to understand that, well, the key to bringing these unions online is to actually lift the vibration of the planet, and I'm going to do my bit. That's when the path gets straighter. When you get stuck in the person that are, quote unquote, are in love with, that's when the twin flame guide map gets messy, because until you understand the purpose of a twin flame soul ascension journey, union will remain as but a distant flicker. That's my promise to you. If you do not understand your twin flame journey, if you do not get on board in understanding that it has a greater purpose than you being with the person that you are missing, then you will stay out of union. You will stay in these points of friction, because the goal of the exercise is not to show up in that old frame of love. We're here to birth something new. And every time and Ricky and I will tell you this for free, is every time we've tried to put it into the cookie cutter mold of how things should be according to a relationship, we fall out of union. Anytime the pair of us get really, really focused about our soul ascension journey and the things that we need to do in part of the waking up process, union feels blissful. It feels easy. The laughter that's running through this house right at this moment, the joy and the bliss after what has been a difficult scenario, is going, oh my gosh, that's right, we're meant to be doing this work. And it does. It's like these. Union is not a guaranteed state. Union is a state that you fight for with mastery, and don't let anyone tell you different. Don't let anyone tell you that it's a given or a guarantee, or that you can take your foot off the pedal. It's something that eventually everyone will be able to sit in it for sure. But at the moment, under the current energy that we're in, you got to do your work. You got to do your work for the bliss of union. Righto. And if we go, what is the current state of the connection? It's at the bottom of the pool. Here's the good news about the bottom of the pool. That's where the bedrock is, right? It might not feel like it, but it's not till you sink to the bottom of the pool that you can actually push off with both feet. I remember my brother said this to me way back when, and I never forgot it. And things were going wrong, and I've been on this journey for 10 years, probably plus now. But and I was sinking. I was, suicidal in my thoughts. I was single mom, struggling to look after kids with all of this big soul ascension journey plan out. And I'd said to my brother, sometimes I just want to tap out. I just don't want to be alive. I could just tap out. And he said to me, "Are you at the bottom of the pool yet?" And I said, "I think I am." And he said, "Good." He says, "If you can feel the bottom of the pool, you can push off with both feet. And the next decision you make it a good one, because the next good decision leads to the next one." And it was like, it was that oxygen that I needed when I was at the bottom of the pool. And it was quite literally as if the divine had come, and, it was like, it was the divine talking to me in that moment, even though I knew it was my brother. It was just like, you know, and I mean, I'm being very flippant about, I'm talking very lightly about how that conversation, it was a very deep emotional conversation that played out. And, it didn't take 10 seconds to occur. We spoke at length, but the crux of that conversation was when you hit the bottom of the pool is when you finally feel bedrock to push off with both feet and start swimming for your life, start swimming for that oxygen that leads you to here. Righto, I'm going to wrap this reading up. I love that union came out as an energy that's playing out right now because I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. You saw what we have. We saw that Empress and that Emperor, starting to make way towards each other. Whereas and our Knight. I loved this, right? We had our Emperor and we had our Empress at the start of the reading, and here we've got our Empress and Emperor and Empress in union to close it out. And on that note, I'm going to say, in faith, hope and love, is bye from me for now.